I hope that's where you are in your Christian life tonight. Seekers of God's heart, what He wants for you. You know, I'm trying not to say too much about the bus, because it has been a real interesting week. And I don't know if I should say this or not, but we're trusting God, so I am. At the beginning of the week, or last week actually, we've been on the road for almost, a week and a half now. And I told the team when we were having all the bus problems, I said, well, we just need to trust what God wants to do, because it could be real interesting to see what He's going to do through all of this. See, because, someone mentioned, well, maybe Satan, it's Satan, and he's trying to stop us from ministering. And he knows, I believe, there's a good work going on, and he wants to stop that. And maybe that's true. But see, we prayed about it. See, and I still believe that Satan can do nothing if God is for you, and if He doesn't want it to happen. And we prayed about it, we left it in God's hands. And see, when you leave it in God's hands, there's no better place to be. And although we've had problems, for the most part, we've been able to smile through it. He's given us grace. And in years to come, we will look back on it and laugh, I'm sure. It's a little more difficult right now than it will be later. But got a call. My father is our director, by the way. I got a call from him, I guess yesterday about lunchtime. Actually, I called him. And so we didn't get a call from him. But I called him, and we were talking, and he asked how we were doing. I said, well, it won't shift out of second gear. It's an automatic, which I hadn't been doing that for a while. So we were traveling between 45 and 55 miles an hour everywhere we went. And so, like one morning, we had an 11-hour, what would normally be a 10, 11-hour trip that we were up at 3 a.m. To leave in time so we could be there for the concert that night, and we made it. But on our way yesterday at lunchtime, I called my father, and we were talking about it, and told him that I was just tired of worrying about it, to be honest with you. And he said, well, here's something that might put a smile on your face. He said, nothing has happened yet. He said, but I was at the lake. He's been at the lake, by the way, all week while I've been with the bus. So we wonder who the smart one is here. But he goes, I was at the lake, and Dr. Falwell called me, because he's also the minister of music at Thomas Road. And he said, Dr. Falwell called me and asked how I was doing. And I said, well, how's the team doing? And he told him all about our bus problems and everything. He said, well, why aren't you at the For Him concert? For Him was in concert in Lynchburg a couple nights ago. He said, well, I'm just up here at the lake, and didn't really think about coming back. He said, well, Dr. Falwell goes, well, how would you like a new bus? And we were like, what? He said, well, For Him is selling their bus. It's fully customized. You'd have to see our bus. It's fully customized with 14 bunks, 14 seats. See, and counting a driver, we have 15 of us. So one person sits in the driver's seat, and there's 14 bunks and 14 seats, or places to sit in the bus. He said, they're selling it, and I have this guy coming in town on Sunday. Would you like me to ask him if he'd buy it for you all? And this is an 87 bus. They told me it was $420,000 new. And he just popped up, well, would you mind if I asked someone if they would buy it for you all? Knock yourself out. Ask a few people. So nothing's happened yet. We're still trusting God. And like I said last week, it's going to be interesting to see what God's going to do. Some brought up, maybe God is testing us. Maybe He has a new, this was long before this came out, because maybe he has a new bus for us when we get back. I don't know. Hopefully. We'd really appreciate it. But it is interesting to see how God works. If not, I'm sure we'll get our bus fixed, and in all honesty, truthfully, we will be thankful for it, because it's what God has given us. And the next song we're going to do is simply called Keep Believing. See, and when you're going through trials, and to be honest with you, the whole bus thing, when you look at it and put it in its perspective, the fact that we can't get from one place to another is not that big a problem. There are people going through a lot worse right now, a lot more heartaches. No matter where we go, people are hurting. In general, as my pastor says, you're either just coming out of something, you're in something right now, or the phone's going to ring tonight when you get home with that call. But see, as Kim alluded to earlier, we had also claimed, or I had claimed Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, because that's exactly what I needed this week. Because it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not into your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He'll direct your paths. See, when I didn't know what to do, when I didn't know how we were going to get places, what we were going to do, we trust in the fact that we know that God knows. He knows what He's doing. I told the team we're doing such a long concert tonight. We had to cancel our concert last night, by the way. We didn't make it. I said, well, we've had 2 days off. That's so you can rest your voices so we can do a long concert tonight. Then you'll have 2 more days off after tonight before our Sunday concerts. So, I mean, God knows what He's doing. And if you're going through something tonight and you don't know what to do, just remember, God is always faithful. He loves you. And if you keep believing in what you know,